A week from tonight, two cultural icons will speak at Old National Center, two voices of a generation, you might say, one of whom I'm buttering up because he's with me right now. Kevin Smith will be here with Jason Mewes next week. We, of course, also know them as Jay and Silent Bob. Kevin Smith, hello.
How are you, man? We could just say it. Old. Two old men are coming to town, and they're going to tell stories from their glory days. They're going to try to bring back the '90s.
Okay, so I guess with that in mind, like what? So if anyone who loved Clerks or Dogma or Mallrats or any of those movies is thinking about going to this, how, I guess, would you describe this evening that we're about to enjoy?
We've been, Jay and I have been doing, most folks know Jay and Silent Bob from the movies we've been in. But for 15 years now, we've been doing live shows. So I like to test drive. Like, we're shooting a Jay and Silent Bob movie this year. So I like to test drive scenes, with the intended audience. Who, if anybody is going to find this funny, except these people that we're talking to at the live show. We get to run the material at the live shows with the audience. So we bring them up and it's like, you play Affleck in the scene and stuff like that.
Well,
so we try to show them what it's like making a movie, because it's for us, it's like a way to, take the pulse.
So, all right. So I'm going to throw a scenario at you then, as far as like discussion goes and maybe improv. So I'm going to show some nerd stripes here, and I'm in good company, so I'm comfortable doing it. You've referenced Star Wars in plenty of movies. Is there still good fodder for continuing to analyze or comment on, say, maybe the current state of Star Wars in the same way you have with the other films? I'm thinking of the scene in Clerks, Empire or Jedi. Or is it too culturally ubiquitous to be as fun? Is that well maybe too full now?
I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think at this point, the Force will be with us always. And that sounded like a nice thing they used to say in the movie, but now, of course, it's a threat we all live under.
Yeah. Okay.
When I was talking about Star Wars in the movies, I was talking about three films from my childhood that were religion to me, but had kind of fallen out of the pop cultural discussion. Like when Clerks happened, we were between any Ewok movie. The toys had long since stopped. Star Wars was a dead franchise. So, it was the perfect time to talk about it. And it was also pre-internet, remember. Now, you can't escape it.
Yeah.
Like what used to be, something I could quote chapter and verse, it became something far different.
I guess the point is that the charm is still there. It's just different, and it's no longer as cool to comment on it, maybe in the same way that you did back in the day.
True. Back then, it was just like, hey man, remember this? And now it's like you can't forget it.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Kevin Smith will be here with Jason Mewes for an evening of discussion, reflection, nostalgia, a week from tonight at Old National Center. And I'll link you to tickets at the Mornings with Matt Pelser page at WTTSFM.com right now. Kevin Smith, what a pleasure.
Matt, so much fun, man. Thanks for letting me wake up. And the boy who started this journey, young Kevin Smith, could only dream of a world where, the thing he had to do that day, his biggest responsibility is like, you're going to get on the radio and talk about Star Wars. So thank you. Thank you for, reminding me there was a dream and I'm living in it. Sometimes it's tough to see from inside the dream, but it came true and I'm in it. Thank you, sir.
What a pleasure. Take care.
All right. Have a good one.